Now, Per, the songs we've played so far, I'm sure you already know who our guest is, but he is a multiple award-winning artist and a global hits maker. Ghana's youngest sugar daddy, Gyaldem Sugar Dennis Nana Jamina, also known as KIDI. He's seated right here with us. Give it up for KIDI.
All right, there we go.
That's what I wanted to do.
Welcome
what
to
an
Entertainment
introduction.
Review.
Thank you for that introduction.
It
had to be. Oh yeah, I had to get out.
Don't start.
No, we're cool.
But how are you doing?
I'm great. I feel amazing.
Yeah, you look good. You look great.
Thank you.
I mean, starting off this year, you've been in the news for a while.
Yeah.
And
I'm always in the news. To be
yes,
honest.
always.
For one reason or another.
Let's talk about you went away for a short while, and then rumors started coming out. Then you had to come out with
I didn't have to.
You
didn't say I had to. It means like because of that.
Okay, exactly. That is actually my question. Were you compelled to come out?
I felt like I was ready. Like you said, I wanted to take a little break because there was a few things happening. So once that was resolved, I was ready to come out because if I had to come out because of that, and I would have come out the day the thing came out. I was like, I don't have to until I'm ready to. So when I was ready,
Okay. So you were just waiting. You felt that, okay, it's not right. It's not the right time for you to come out to really tell us why you went on a break.
It's not like it was just, there was so much happening, trust me. Like in that moment, I don't think anybody will even figure out the right thing to even do because there's so much happening, like from left to right, everybody's pulling phone calls. It was just so much happening. I had to make all of that simmer down, digest everything going on before, coming out, so.
I mean, we are concerned, we are curious.
Yeah.
Like, tell us, what was happening? You're saying that lots was happening.
Yeah, lots.
And it's obvious that you were not sick.
I wasn't physically, what they were saying I was, obviously. But there were other things that I was trying to figure out and deal with, That is why I had to cancel my tour. Because I wasn't myself 100%. There was so much going on. Like I said, I don't want to go into detail.
Okay.
But yeah, just know that I'm glad to be back. I'm happy. I'm strong, healthy. I feel amazing. I feel incredible. So.
Good to know.
But then again, just before you go ahead, based on what he's saying, you are clearly a victim of most of these rumors that we hear around and all that. Why is it difficult for you celebrities to sue people, corporates that, say things about you? Is it that you feel suing them will not deter them from, such rumors? Why don't you sue them? What's the reason?
First of all, I don't know how to answer this question without having to step on toes. But no,
they
I'm
stepped
being
on
real.
yours.
They stepped on yours, yeah.
No, even not about the people that stepped on my toes, but about like a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
About, we live in a country where, to be honest, if we say we are being honest, a lot of our systems are quite strenuous.
Okay. Yeah.
Somebody has done something to you, want to take it to court. You come out of the court even more stressed and more everything that you went in.
Right.
And considering the circumstance of what I was also going through at that time, coming to add this legal, it wasn't a thing.
It's going to be stressful.
Yeah. But like you said, I contemplated the idea of taking them on because I was asking, for how long are these people going to get away with, publishing some of these things that are false? But
How did
I leave them to God.
How did Zayn and Mommy take it? Because I know you're really cool with them.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough for everybody. My family, my friends, my team. He, as a child whose mind isn't open to some of these things and how people were talking about me on TV and radio, it wasn't very favorable to him. But he's a strong kid.
But if all of us are going to consider, the fact that it's going to be stressful going to the courts and all, then most of them will continue, spreading these rumors every day. And
it's unfortunate. You see. The thing is, yes, it's unfortunate that these things are happening, and every day for Tiff Man.
Yeah.
One day, like maybe it wasn't my own, but they will continue. You go and meet your meter somewhere. Yeah, who will be ready? I wasn't ready in that moment to do that, but you will meet somebody who is ready and has time, and you see who's who.
From the zeal you put in your music, everyone can tell that you enjoy your career. And has there ever been a point in time where you felt people's comments, social media comments, people's opinion made you feel so unhappy to the extent that you go like, enough is enough, I'm stepping back? Has there been a moment like that?
No. Nobody has that power over me. You don't have that power to make me step back because of you. Probably this is your 20 megabytes last minute. bundle you have, then I'm letting you. Yes, I'm human, and sometimes you might see certain things, you might hear certain things that might get you sad. But 5 minutes of sadness, shake it off. Yeah. Life goes on. This person does not have the power to, control your emotions like that.
And I really like that response because I was able to watch you 2022 Afro Chella now Afro Future, and the second day where you came out to perform. Like that day, let me share this experience. Maybe you might not have seen it in the
But the second day?
The second day.
Or did I didn't come?
You came late. So the second day, we go like, the media stand, and there's like KIDI coming on stage. And there are big people in Ghana here that actually had to take their phone out to video KIDI. And when I say big people, these are big journalists who are like, we look up to them. But the whole feeling of KIDI coming to perform, let me just video, was something that you tend to appreciate. He came on stage, he did his thing, and it felt like all the songs that you were singing, people were already singing it for you. Sometimes, do you have to go through a transition where you go like, let me put the mic down and let me just leave them to sing? How is that like?
Sometimes I'm tempted to do that, but at the same time, I also know that these people have come for a good show.
Okay. Yeah.
So as much as it's an energy give and take, they'll sing to me sometimes. I have to perform to them.
Yeah.
So I won't entirely leave it for them because then
But to get different generations appreciate your music, love your music, day in, day out, you keep producing songs that also like bridge the gap between the older generation and the younger ones. How are you able to do that to make sure that you satisfy your generation and also the older folks?
If I tell you that I go into the studio like thinking of, okay, I'm going to make a song that will appeal to the older, I'm lying to you. That's not what happens in the studio. I try to relieve myself of the pressures of people because once I'm trying to satisfy everybody, I will not make music like real authentic music. My music will be sounding a certain way because I'm trying to please this, please that.
Okay.
I just go into the studio and do me. When a song comes out, there are songs that I've done that I know that the children cannot listen to. And there are ones that I know the children can listen to.
So I like that.
So I just go into the studio and do me. When it comes out and it's not ready, it's not appropriate for kids, it will tell you, please, listen to Say Cheese. So it's just what it is. I make the music and later decide, who it's for.
Okay. Now, when it comes to your song, I Lied, there's a lyric in there that says that if I show you my liver, you go take me for prayer, right?
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with your liver?
Absolutely nothing wrong.
So why that lyric?
My kidney, my heart, my soul, they are
everything
all
is fine. So why?
So basically, I Lied is a song about the things that humans have to go through every day. There are people that, most of you sitting here, I don't know if you cried last night or not, but today, guess what? You are here, smiling, doing what you have to do. And there's so many people that go through stuff, but when they come to work, you never know because they have to do what they have to do. Yeah. That's what the song is about. And people obviously have like different ways of coping with these pressures of life. Some people use sex, some people use drugs, some people use alcohol. Yeah. So I was saying in the context of the song, the person who is the topic of conversation is using alcohol, obviously. Okay. So if I show you my liver, for you to see the amount of alcohol I'm taking, you take me to prayer. But art is obviously open to interpretations. When it came out, everybody assumed KIDI has a liver problem.
Especially at the timing at which it came, right after people went well.
Yeah. True. Okay, let's talk about your look. And I feel that it coincides with a song or album that you're bringing out. But, you had blonde hair last year. And now that blonde hair is gone. That blonde hair era was more of like a bad boy kind of.
Oh, now it's here.
And then now the blonde is gone. There's a new tattoo. And do you sit down to plan these?
To be honest, I'm very, what's the word? I'm very spontaneous.
Yes.
Like, people think that, I've planned like a year ahead. Okay, so next year
you're gonna look like this.
Literally, the black hair. One day, I just woke up in the morning, and I was like, "Are you at the shop? I'm coming. I want black hair. Like, I'm done with not done, but like I'm taking a break from the blonde, and let my hair breathe. Because it takes a lot of work to maintain blonde hair. let my hair breathe, back to basics. And it's all a fresh new look as well, with the fresh new sounds coming as well. So
Okay.
Yeah. I think Zayn was even disappointed.
Yeah, he was. His mind hasn't grasped his father's face with black hair.
Yeah, with the black hair.
Yeah.
But talking about your music, you're a man of hits. I mean, since you came in, hits after hits, you can perform 2 hours and still you sing all your songs and still sing people's songs, and we want more.
Yeah.
But one that really caught the attention of everybody and even went to India. How did that happen? How did you feel that your song is not just in Africa or the usual Europe, US that you know that Charlie, if you drop the song, go there inside. But this one be India.
Yeah, it was a thing that even I did not understand. I always had dreams of making music to reach that part of the world as well, like Asia and all of that. I had no idea I was going to be touching. The power of the internet, the power of TikTok, the power of reels and stuff. The song was making rounds, and it's crazy because somebody will even say TikTok influence, but TikTok is not in India. India does not have TikTok, so literally that means they discovered the song from some other
platform.
So it was big. They had to go there and do the remix with amazing artists too. See, and it was such an experience for me going into another culture and experiencing them.
Okay, I had to check the views, and it's 31 million views. But the remake of the song, an Afrobeat artist or a high life artist, as I should put it, and what's their sound? India sound, like how they call it, the Indian sound. Putting that together and trying to make sure that you get into the market, and also the artist, that's 2C. Also, we get to follow her works. Also, how was the process like?
It was a challenge, obviously, because like you said, merging of sounds is new.
Yeah.
The last time a Ghanaian tried to merge with India is Sonny Achiba.
Right.
So we had a challenge of having to make sure the sound is right and the merging is actually authentic. And we found a middle ground to it, and it sounded great.
But the remix, it brings question to remixing by artists. When is the right time to do a remix? And if the remix does not overshadow the original song, then probably there's a problem. Did you feel like that the
remixes are supposed? That's the whole purpose of remix. It's supposed to overshadow the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's supposed. If it doesn't, then you are failed.
Did it work for you?
It did. In that market, like they listen to.
Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Okay. The 2C remix, it worked. Yeah. They got to know KIDI. The Tiger remix.
That also opened me up to a whole new audience in the US. Tiger is a legend. Like, he's been doing this since I was in high school. So it opened me up. And sometimes when we travel, you get people that come to, I know your song, and they think it's even Tiger's song featuring you. So, so it does mean that it's doing some work in some parts of the world. And
so it's not as thinking, say, I should have found more than the original.
No, but it's not for you. It's not for you. The original is there for you.
For you.
So that's for you. This one I'm doing it because, the power of collaboration. So so you cannot sit in Ghana and say, I know what they are.
Right. KIDI, you are signed on to Links Entertainment.
Yes.
It's obvious that they have played a very critical role in your music career. In essence, labels are very important, and in this country or even outside here, they play a very good role in the life of musicians. Now, how do you feel about musicians, bridging their contracts, leaving their labels, and making it look like they are ungrateful to their labels? Sometimes they don't even have contract, but some way or the other they leave, and management is not happy, labels are not happy.
Yeah, I know what you're asking me, Pa. I know what you're asking me. But you see, there's unique situations for every situation. Like, somebody went through this. It doesn't mean the next person's own is the same thing. Somebody might be a money issue. Somebody might be, we've reached the end of our contract, so we're just going our separate ways. Somebody might be, I think you're not doing enough for me, so I want to go. Like, there's different reasons why people might leave. So I just always like to tell people, no matter where you're going, yes, you will not be at a place forever. No matter where you are moving on, to make sure that you are leaving on a good note. Because you go and probably come back next time because you need help, They also need your help someday, because when they sign new artists, you probably might be a global artist. They can reach you like, this guy was once our label guy. We can get him to do things for us, So leave on a good note. I know sometimes, depending on the circumstance, it could be tough, but it is.
So wait, let me ask this one before you come in. How long is the KIDI Links relationship going to last?
We have no. I don't even know what I'll eat tomorrow, to be honest. So I cannot tell you that. I have no idea how. Like it's true. That's the truth. I have no idea what my life is going to look like next week.
Yeah.
You get it? So I cannot tell you that far into the future.
That's a smart.
But then again, are you
Very smart.
But are you also, there's people feel, are you scared to leave links? For
Oh no,
example,
I'm
people
not.
have left
That's
and
one thing.
seen-
If you know me, no
Right.
fear. I don't move with fear.
Okay.
Like I move with conviction. I move knowing what I want to do. And as I say, if ever a time comes that I have to leave,
Right.
I have to make sure that upon all the work we've done together, we are happy. We shake hands. Like if that ever happens.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
I wanted to touch on your partnership with Empire. The American distribution, publishing label, and the other one, is it Made in
Any.
Yeah.
At what point did you feel, or with the team, decided to make a decision to sign with them? Because I know in recent times music has changed and everything. People are seeking wider audience, the global markets, but it's your career. You take it one step at a time. When did you decide that this is the time? Let me bring these people in.
In everybody's journey, you go from A to B.
Yeah.
If you've gone from B to C and you reach C, obviously you want to go to D. So you assess, you're self-aware, you look around, see that do you have what it takes to get yourself to D? And we know music is collaboration, partnership.
Yeah.
Somebody has to come in and hold your hand, help you to a next level. So that is what informed that, we've Ghana here, we've conquered, we've done everything. We won a year.
Yeah.
It's time to move to the
Move
next
out,
level.
yeah.
So let's bring who we think can help, work with us, so that we can get to the next level. So,
And also on the back of that, in recent times, making music has changed.
Yeah.
There are simpler lyrics, different ways of promotion.
Stress day, you cannot do deep lyrics too much. Somebody will just read their minds and
Something simple.
Yeah.
And we see KIDI, I've sat here and I've said it before, that KIDI has one of the easiest lyrics that you can just say cheese or what, living now, liquor
there's
and
beauty in the
everything.
simplicity.
Yes. I say that journalism, we say you kiss it. Simple, short. Now that different partnership have come on board, you're doing things differently. Is your creating process going to change? And even if it's going to change, what are you looking at doing? Because right now, like you said, the original is for us. The remix is for them.
Yeah.
So now you are trying to suit a wider market.
Yeah.
What are the things that you are considering to do? Are we going to get the same KIDI with it? Simpler lyrics, easy things? What are the dynamics?
Yeah, it's still, I've always believed in simplicity. Well, I didn't used to believe in simplicity. I used to think that an artist is someone that can sing deep lyrics and you have to rack your brains. I used to think that.
But we still have artists who are like that.
And
though.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's certain songs that you have to go that
Yeah.
way.
Right.
And if you're trying to do certain songs that should get people to just feel good, there's a way you have to go about it as well. So obviously there's that. The only difference right now is because you said there's other people involved.
Market involved.
So
and
it's tougher now selecting music because you've made the song. As much as when I finish a song, I'm thinking, okay, now I have to play it to Richie.
Yeah.
If Richie likes it,
Yeah.
now we have to play it to the next.
Yeah.
If they like, we have to play it to the next.
Yeah.
So for the songs to reach the top, for everybody to agree that this is the right song to come
Yeah.
out, it's a long process. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
So that's the difference now. But like you said, it's a wider audience. We want to take care of everybody. We just have to make sure that in doing that, we don't lose our true essence.
Okay.
Stick to the roots. Yeah.
On the back of that, there's been conversations going on about Ghanaian artists signing onto labels like that, like Empire, Sony, and all the others. And the comparison has to do with other people who are assigned to such labels and the kind of levels that they are getting to, and that people feel that our artists on such labels are not getting on those platforms as other people are getting to. What if you see yourself, Empire, a lot of people sign on there, Sony, a lot of people sign on there, and we see some people on some platforms, they worry, yourself, your team, this guy did me to go feed that side. Or
as artists and as ambitious people, we always want that. There's always that. When I see that this person is here, I'll call, hey, for good song. Like, we have to also show face. We have to do something, show our work, So there's that. But there's also the part about believing in your process. The person that you are looking up to, this probably their chapter 10. This is your chapter 2.
Okay.
So when you are doing, just be honest with yourself, do the work. Me, I don't like complaining too much. I like to do the work because, in essence, the work is what will take you to these places. True. You get me? So everybody has unique situations, but I focus on working hard, and when the timing is right, I'll be in those spaces.
Yeah. Now, on the back of that, I listened to one of your interviews where you were saying that it's embarrassing that we'll compare Ghana and Nigeria.
We're embarrassing ourselves. That's what it is. We sound bitter. We sound like, we're not happy for your brother who is doing something amazing. Every day, that is. You see, life, dear, we all have to look up to somebody. Somebody is doing something right. At home, if you have kids, 2 kids, one of them is in school, one of them is acing it. The other one is, trying hard and it's not making it. You don't always use that as, your brother is doing well. Why are you not? You are a failure. You're not doing well in life. You are useless. If you do that, what happens is the other child gets, low-spirited. But it's important for us to pick up the good parts. Even look at, not just Nigerians, because South Africans, they're also doing something right. Yeah. So look at what the good things people are doing are. Pick it, add it to your unique circumstance and make sure. And let's just start every time we open YouTube, Ghana this, Niger this.
Oh. Yeah. But the Nigerians are equally doing this. They do this.
When somebody achieves something, we use it as an opportunity
to bring someone down.
You can big somebody up without having to bring the next man down. Somebody Satawale has done something amazing. Big him up without having to drag Stonebwoy and Sarkodie. When Sarkodie also does something, big him up. But we have the culture of this person has done this means you are useless. Yeah. You can't do it.
No, me, the internal Ghana one, that one they are not like. Yeah. You see, we all need to go together as a movement. As I always say.
That even answers your question because as there's the issue of the population as well. Even when everybody comes together, we're still not enough.
Yeah.
We are still not enough. Even if everybody decides to rally behind the artists, how much more the divisions? Yeah. So now, the species you are trying to get to, they have internet. They check on what's going on in your country. So when they text you, search your name and they say, you got your country, they are fighting. Charlie, let's go to the one that they are bringing us numbers. And you get me? Yeah. So it's all part of it. We need to start fixing our internal issues if we want to be there.
Have you gone for any investment meeting with someone who wants to bring money into the industry, and what we may not want? What are some of the things that they tell you about our industry that you think that all artists should know about and the major stakeholders should know about, so that we could attract people like that?
Yeah, I mean, investment, whether music, whether agriculture, whether no matter the field it is, investments, people invest to get returns. So to invest in anything, for you've done your market research, you've observed a thing from afar, you know how viable it is to succeed. If you don't see it succeeding, you don't put your money in it. And if you see it as a fickle thing, it comes, it goes, you don't put your money in it. So sometimes when you have these conversations with investors, they recognize what is meant to be done. But I think as an industry, there's a lot of things we're also not doing right to attract people. Like we're not making, there's not a lot of seriousness in some aspect. Some artists are also doing their best. Trust me, there are artists that are killing it and making it amazing moves. But generally, as an industry, we have to fix ourselves. Because I had a conversation with an investor once who was telling me, listen, some of you are stars, but I look forward to the time where we can make you mega superstars. And he said it takes money. Because when you look at other artists from different who are flying private, it's not because they can, but it's about, that we're in a business of perception. So you have to pump money to make it look good. And once it looks good, it attracts people bringing their money in. But I don't blame our industry because a lot of us, the artists, the more money you have, you're going to shoot music videos. You have to pay for promo. You don't have money to keep up. It's kind of endorsed. So the little we get, we used to do the little we can. But it's true, if we get these investors, we can make bolder moves, So,
Because then again, there have been conversations where people feel other countries, and there will be the comparison again where they feel the package in here.
It's very important.
But it seems
we're in a business of perception. You have to package at a point. You have to. Sometimes you don't have it, but you have to show that. And I know sometimes the fans, want to see collaboration. Want to see, KIDI, why aren't you featuring? Why aren't you? Somebody was in my DM when I released. I was like, you have to feature Justin Bieber. And I was like, listen, I want to feature Justin. You are more than you. But guess what? It's business. If Jaziba can hear a KIDI song, it's like, I like this guy, I want to do a song with him. That's not it. When you are done, Justin Bieber's feature fee is $500,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not that easy. I'm not saying that's what it is.
Like for example, that's the range. Yeah.
There's $50,000. There's depending on the artist you get. It's not just about them loving you. You have to. There is feature fee that you have to pay.
What if they themselves request to be on your song? You still have to pay them?
Yes, because it's business.
Yeah. So wait,
that is part of the
Essence?
industry. I don't know the details of that, but I don't want to speak on. I don't know the details, but I know that the general thing is business. Even if Chris Brown and Asha are best friends, if Chris Brown does a song for Asha will get his payment. Like it's not about my friend. So investors are important. Otherwise, these features, some of them, there's so many songs that never saw the light of day because the feature fees were crazy. Were crazy.
So there are three things that usually come up as problems for our industry. One,
lack of funds.
Lack of funds. Second, some say infrastructure. Two, tell me the last one.
Lack of know-how, the expertise.
Well, but I was going to say the other thing that a lot of people say that quality sound. Yeah, you know when you're there to say the others. These three.
We make good music.
We do.
Maybe we have to start investing more in mixing and mastering because sonically the music. Sometimes there are songs that, to be honest, I heard a song. I was like, it's cool, but when I listened to it in the car and the speakers, the way it was mixed, it was sounding extraterrestrial in my ears. Like it makes the song nicer. So maybe that's what they are. But if it comes to the music itself, I think my Ghanaian brothers are doing amazing. Trust me.
Very well.
Yes, there's more room for improvement. There is more we can do, but let's not, stamp on them. Let's encourage each other.
Talking about the free features, I think we do that in Ghana here amongst the artists because we've had artists here and they're like, okay, someone hopped on my song without charging me anything. It's like something that we do here. Would you say that it's part of the reason why we are not going up there?
I don't think that alone is a standalone reason, but it's a thing. Like I had a conversation with an American who had gone on my YouTube. I said, "Oh, I've seen that you've done features. You must be really rich." And I was like, "Oh, I've never charged a penny for any feature." I was like, "What? You don't take money for features?"
You're joking.
Oh, I don't.
No, like even now.
Yeah.
Even now.
Wow.
In Ghana, I don't remember any time taking money from any Ghanaian artist. It's unfortunate that it's like that because the moment KIDI does a song with Sarkodie and I write an invoice to Sarkodie's team that listen, Charlie, $20,000. You can imagine.
Yeah.
Now you see, so as a people, it's not a thing we've grown up with. Maybe in the future that can change, but right now the way we are set up,
we need to change our mindset.
If you are doing the right thing, you might end up being a bad person for doing the right thing because we're used to the wrong things.
I don't know why that's one is looking at you like that.
I am so shocked because I know that maybe for an upcoming. Maybe Shana say, "Oh, you're very talented." Because Charlie, I will give you free. But like your mates, it will be better. You do give me, I do give you.
Yes.
And there are others that Charlie.
So there is those things because we don't take money. That's the unspoken rule.
The unspoken language.
That, today I'll do for you. Tomorrow, when I bring my song, you do for me. That's what we do.
But I want to go back a bit and ask this. Let's say you have the money and the means to have this collaboration with these big artists. As an artist, should there be a timing for you to consider when choosing a particular kind of artist on your song, especially the foreign artists? Let's say KIDI now is doing his thing and then wants a collaboration. Like there's a means to do collaboration with maybe, let's say, Madonna, Lady Gaga. Should this time be the appropriate time? Or what will go into you considering the time before the collaboration?
Listen, if I tell you the things that go on behind the scenes for a song to come out, Some artists will give up, like some of the battles that are fought behind the scenes for songs to come out. You can do a song with an artist, both of you and the artist have no problems. Like everything was nice, the song is great, but then it goes to the legal and the accounting and all of that. And it could be that the artist likes the song, but he dropped an album. So maybe you've planned your time that, listen, my song needs to come out in March. Artist has dropped an album in January. They'll tell you, for the next 6 months, we don't want any features. So that means your whole plan is on standstill.
Yeah.
You have to wait for 6. Either you say, okay, I'll go without you, or if you can wait for 6 months, you have to wait for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
There's so much that goes into songs coming out. Yeah. There's so many features that we've had to take off because some of these things were not favorable.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So with your feature with Stonebwoy,
I mean, Stonebwoy is my brother. So,
he didn't pay anything. Like,
no.
he didn't pay anything to him either. Wow.
So I think in this industry, they don't really pay, and it's
although
we don't
Stonebwoy
really
is
understand
now
the music business.
Stonebwoy is now with a bigger label as well.
Yeah,
So there's obviously things that has to be done.
Yeah.
Same way somebody is featuring because I'm with Empire. There's things that have to be done.
Yeah.
It's no more the days of you name you fashion system. No, things have to be done properly. But that's what it is.
KIDI, just getting a bit, personal. I know you have this tease that is undeniable, attractive to a lot of ladies.
What is that? What?
This tease. Tease is a tease for us. That is undeniable, likable by a lot of young ladies. I mean, how are you able to deal with them, especially those who are bold enough to come to you and say that I like you?
You know, on Snapchat, there's something there's a voice that says, "Be bold,
right?" How are you able to deal with such? Right.
You've asked a very important question because it's a tough turf. It's not. I don't think there's any manual on how to navigate these things. You just pray for grace and guidance because we have people that will come into your life, for the love of the music you're making.
Right.
And more people that will want more. People that want to be in your inner circle, want to be friends with you. So every day when I wake up, I pray for grace to navigate these things. There are no rules. It's not an easy task.
It's not an easy task. Well noted, but I'll take this opportunity. There's a friend of mine. She was asking, when is KIDI coming on Entertainment Radio? She wanted to meet Rosina, Mabna Rosina from Telma Community
Shout out to
3.
you, Mabna.
Yesterday I was at the Botanical Gardens, right? And I was talking to the manager there, and I knew that you went there to shoot your thing, and it was like, KIDI came here, it was really cool. Come on. When you have to, I remember Kirani Ayat's thing and all that.
Yeah.
When you have to go somewhere to shoot music videos and all of that, is it always smooth like you had at the Gardens? So there's sometimes that it gets really tough.
It's not always that, it's like everything in life. Sometimes you get it smooth, sometimes you won't. You just have to count and pray for the days that everything goes smoothly. And even in shooting, it's not even about just the venue. There's so many forces you are working against. Weather,
I like the forces.
There are forces, weather, because you cannot control the weather. Weather, people coming late, people leaving, there's so many things that, you see, I tell people that to be an artist, if you don't have the heart, because at every turn, you'll be tested. Like, you're it's serious. But we thank God that we're here and we're still going.
About that, you've been able to maintain this image. I mean, you get trolled, but it's not as bad as other artists get. You are loved. Like, Ghanaians love you.
Amen.
Is this something?
It's like,
you don't even need that to my
But like, from my perspective, and not just me, a lot of people, is this something that you planned when you were starting your career that, okay, you're going to have this image, likable image, as Helen said? Is this something you put an effort in?
You don't plan these things.
Okay.
A personality is a personality, What I had to work on was the fact that I still am working on it, but initially when I started, I used to have a serious problem with shyness. I am a very shy person. So when I walk into a space and I leave, then my manager would tell me that when you leave, people are saying, this guy, who does he think he was rude? He was too. I was like, it's not that too. So I've had to learn dealing with people relations, knowing how to talk to people and stuff. It hasn't been easy, but it's not a thing you can plan. It's a thing that it comes.
There's some sort of conversation going on between these
two. No. Listen. So I have my last question before we talk about liquor and the others.
Talk about liquor.
No, hold it. No, my question is not even about liquor. My question is about, you came out through a reality show, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people go in there, every now and then when they start one, people go. A lot of people go in there with the hopes of blowing up. Some win, some become second, third. Some blow, some do not blow. They stay in there for a very long time. They get depressed about it and all that. If you're to advise someone who is watching right now and says, I want to go for this particular auditions, I want to become the next big star. Take them through what they should know before getting into it, and not thinking that they are coming out to become like the KIDI and all the other instant stars.
Yes,
I think it's a very important thing.
So before I went into mine, I remember I was quite skeptical. I was like, I don't think there's a path I want to take, because before me, I was observing that people that had been to these reality shows never really. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I was one of the first winners of a music show that was able to, and then followed like a lot of, And before that, it was such a scary thing. I was like, hey, nobody has ever won and gone up there.
Yeah.
So what if I also go and I become a statistic? Like, so like, oh, there goes another winner who. So it was a very tough moment for me, even like through the show, and even after the show. It was a whole year of nothing before I got my first hit. Like, it was such a tough moment. I was like, oh God, I'm going to become another statistic. But you have to know that nobody is going to give you a handout. Like, nobody is going to offer you big stardom, and like when you come out, the fans are ready for you. You have to work for it. Like, the real work starts after the show. On the show is cruise. You're sleeping in the house, you're feeding, cars drive you around, they book interviews for you. When you come out, you have to go and chase your own interviews. You have to, like, it's tough, but it's only for the chosen few who are ready to fight the battles.
Let's talk about Leko.
Finally.
I was listening to it, and Apple Music, they'll show you the number of writers on there, and I was like,
Yeah.
How many writers?
Yeah, we're about 4 writers on it. Yeah. It's crazy because it's not a thing that we're used to in this part of the world.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, there was a Chris Brown song I was listening to, and I went to, these days, because I've started, like, inviting, like, writers into my, I open my eyes to see what goes on around the world. And I looked at the song, Chris Brown song has, like, 12 writers. Yeah. I was like, so what did they write? So what? And I realized that it's a thing. Like, there are people that are so amazing at music writing. There are people that are so amazing at vocals. There are people that are so amazing at melodies. So imagine bringing, like, the best of all these people around. You get Leko.
Leko is a nice song.
Yeah, so on the back of that, the way you talk about, like, the writers, it's now it's like a must on the record label and stuff. You talked about how you got Stonebwoy, the man himself, on, and the process. During the conversation you had with the previous interview, you spoke about how Stonebwoy was Stonebwoy. I'm not going to ask why did you choose Stonebwoy. I'll be why not Stonebwoy. And
I like the energy.
Stonebwoy.
So Stonebwoy does his verse. How are you and the team able to say that? Yeah, this is the best one we want. How were you able to conclude that? Out of all, like, the verses, the lyrics that Stonebwoy can give, this is it.
Hey, but Stonebwoy in his own right is a legend. There's no way KIDI is going to listen to the Stonebwoy and say, Stonebwoy, I think he didn't do
No, but the songwriters that are on, what did they say? Like, did they have to
everybody was excited,
It's Stonebwoy.
It's exactly, like, it's not long. Like, when it's done, I've been is ready, Stonebwoy did his thing on it.
And he did a one take.
Like,
Charlie.
I mean, it's Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
Should we expect an EP or an album very soon?
I've seen that people have started asking for Let's fight for one song at a time.
No, but I think it's because over the period, your album, your EP won awards, and like we are always like, when is KIDI dropping something like that?
So I'm always working on projects. So I know, even as it is, Leko and Light are coming off a project. So we're in the process of it. But at the right time,
I love champagne.
Yes, we will put it on the news and people will hear about the details.
I mean, this is my last question.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm done. This is my last question. We get to see these. We started by saying, new crops of artists, but now you guys are not new crops of artists.
You are new cats, please.
You are. I was coming there.
New cats. We are medium cats.
You see, gone were the days when we were little and our parents were listening to the Amachi days and the Kojo entries. They were like, hey, one more time, in Juma or more bono. Our generation have gotten the privilege to see the likes of you and the other ones that are doing so much. We see you and we see inspiration, growth, and the future. For someone like you as an artist, what is that legacy you aspire to leave behind when everything is said and done, so that we also can tell our children that
it's important. KIDI's time.
I also want that bragging rights. So,
and these things you only know with time. Like, there's conversations where there's like, you guys are not making timeless music anymore. Like, I'm like, how do you know it's timeless? Then a song gets dropped. We only know those songs are timeless because it has stood the test of time. So So our songs you're making with 10 years time, then you can say that the songs faded.
Right.
Yeah, because a song like Odo, when I'm performing on stage, when I'm in a club and it drops, even though the song was dropped 6 years ago, they sing it like it came out last year. And that tells me that I know that song is going to stand the test of time. You know, so on the issue of, I know that I have a long way to go. I know that I have so much more work to do, but I pray and hope for good health, you know, long life. So at the end of my journey, people can look back. And when they tell the story of, you know, Ghana music and what it did globally, I know that I will be there in the story, to be honest. Yeah.
You know, I
leave a lasting impact.
I like these. Like, I like these things because I still listen to Kodre and Trio on like my phone. I have like the whole album.
Same.
Yeah, so I am supposed to be enjoying like KIDI song and also brag about it. So you understand what I'm
Both agree.
Together.
So, KIDI, youngest sugar daddy, it's been amazing having you on the table.
We don't have time. Oh, let you do the coffee starts when you were.
Okay,
Sharp.
Sure.
Feel like I'll be stuck in the maze, looking for the wrong one again. Baby girl, I'm searching again. Even though I like your waist, even though your body they crazy, no be for me. Maybe I'm unlucky again. Everybody say liquor in my cup, my healer. Pour another one for my jigger. I'ma just call my dealer. Let's go.
And
Beautiful.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the Table of Life. It's been an amazing conversation, and we hope to have you once again.
And this is first time on this podcast
on this table.
But it's been on
playlist and other ones.
It's been on news also.
It's like a table they used to plan World War in.
Oh my God!
Like that Avengers, Captain America is sitting here.
Yes.